A long time ago, in a suburb called Holmsund, far, far away, there was a team, a standard team, which before they got old and gave up on their dreams, did a bunch of epic videos and short films. Let's go back to a time before YouTube and Facebook, when the only equipment you had was a high 8 camera, and the only way to expose your work was through your family and friends. One of these projects was the saga of Tomten. The first Tomten film was actually made in late 1999, but doesn't exist anymore because the only copy was on a VHS tape that got stuck years ago. But there wasn't much of a story anyways, so it doesn't really matter to the overall saga. I think the plot was that Santa's workshop was infiltrated by some random guy who stole some toys, and then there was a lightsaber fight with bandy sticks for some reason. The infiltrator got away in the end, which leads to the next epic movie. Tomten 2 from 2001. Much like the first one, there's basically no plot, besides that the infiltrator is on the run and almost gets shot by his partner in crime, because he wears a Christmassy hat. When the hat is removed, he's instantly recognized and everything's fine. Then Santa comes along with his army. It's basically just a shootout between these two guys and Santa's crew. My then 12-year-old sister knocks out my brother with a baseball bat, runs away, only to get shot in the back. Then backup arrives, in form of two guys on a sled, armed with an Uzi. Yeah. Almost everybody dies, and that's it. Tomten 3 from 2003. Now the real saga begins. Tomten 3 to 5 is the original trilogy of sorts. But why we insisted on putting the number 3 in there, instead of just naming that one Tomten, then Tomten 2 and 3, is just stupid. The first two has nothing to do with other films, but whatever yo, this was 14 years ago, so there was indeed a lack of brain power back then. The movie begins with a kick-ass logo. That's some mad photoshopping right there, y'all. Santa's workshop has armed guards, so I guess it's a dystopian future where Santa is both Swedish and drinks mulled wine. Santa establishes military presence and makes an inspection, much like a drill sergeant. Santa doesn't approve sloppy gift wrapping and lashes out on this little helper, giving him another shot at it, because Santa is so fair and kind, at least according to himself. By now we realize that Santa is not a jolly one, and in this universe, Santa's workshop is one giant corporation. Santa's financial advisor talks about the ever-rising profit since 1997, when they started charging for delivering Christmas presents. He also talks about them beating the competition, so there are other companies out there offering the same kind of service. This world is weird, indeed. We're introduced to the gift of the year, the Bear Model 2000, a fully sized remote-controlled teddy bear that can dance, I guess. You can't actually turn it off, so you just have to wait until the batteries are drained. Santa is very pleased with this product and gives his financial advisor a raise. And scene. Now it's time for the main villain to appear in my mom and dad's garage. Introducing Joker Toybox, a living breathing jack-in-a-box. CEO of Toybox Corp, a toy manufacturer that tries to compete with Santa's company. Toybox asks his scientist about the current state of the company and will learn that Santa is dominating the market. It appears that toys like commando teddy bears with real guns and exploding dolls are not selling well compared to the standardized jolliness of Santa's products. Enraged by the results, Toybox throws the exploding doll to the scientist and he dies. Santa gets a phone call from Toybox, where he tries to persuade Santa to sell the company to him. Santa refuses, of course, and hangs up. Toybox gets mad and comes up with an ingenious plan. He makes an anonymous call, I guess, and impersonates a woman which had lost her child in the big forest of Norrland. Why Santa is even bothered by this, and why there's no law enforcement in this universe, we will never know, but whatever. Insert insane laughter and stuff. It's now nighttime, and Toybox's army of 2 are closing in. The only guard is killed off, and they gain access by using a Nokia 3310 with the keypad. Best phone ever made. Santa's surveillance team actually sees this, but they are completely useless for some reason. Is it supposed to be just 2 guys taking over the entire place, or are they just doing things 2 soldiers at a time? If you recognize people's faces over and over again, you're completely right. This is some lazy filmmaking at its finest. Now Santa's workshop has been overtaken by Toybox, and he makes his usual epic appearance. Wearing a gas mask for no reason is always badass. There's always someone ready with a police siren at all times. Pretty ambitious, I must say. Santa's helpers are now forced to work for the evil Joker Toybox. They find the Bear Model 2000 prototype, and Toybox instantly sees the potential. He finally gets to use his CD with an evil AI firmware, which he carries with him at all times, apparently. It becomes a killing machine with only one purpose: to kill Santa. The bear is equipped with a machine gun and heads out into the woods to find Santa. When asked about why Toybox is so damn evil, he replies by shooting and killing the financial advisor in cold blood. He then starts to tell his backstory anyways, and now things get weird. We get a flashback scene from a Christmas day a long time ago, when we see Toybox's father Harald playing the violin. We have this thing in Sweden when usually the father of the family says that he's going out to buy a newspaper, and then later comes back dressed as Santa, giving presents to the children. Well, this scene is no different, besides that Harald says he needs to go to the liquor store before it closes, indicating that he has a severe drinking problem. Continuing the story, Toybox breaks down when talking about the present he got that Christmas. Toybox is initially quite excited about the present, due to its size. He then opens the present, only to realize that it's empty, and Father Harald claims it to be a portable playroom. Toybox's father insists that he must get into the box, which he eventually does. Harald then used the weakest tape ever to lock him up in this cardboard prison, and it's all very sad. We really don't get to know more about this. So my guess is that Harald puts Toybox in the box when he's a pain to deal with. This alone requires a prequel. We get another flashback when Toybox is playing in the snow. Suddenly a junkie on a sled comes and runs over his legs. Permanently damaged and full of shame, Toybox crawls back into the box, never to get out of it ever again. So that's the plot, people. He hates Christmas and wants revenge. A classic tale. Santa is still out in the woods of Nordland, looking for the missing child. Suddenly, a Toybox Corp-issued Commando Teddy appears, and the action begins. Now the Bear Model 2000 is onto Santa and fires away. Thanks to its steel woolen armor, the bear doesn't take any damage, which makes conventional bullets useless. Santa is out of ammo and makes a run for it. Suddenly, there are 3 bears after him, so I guess they were already in production. Did Joker Toybox have more than one disc with the evil AI firmware? Hey, I think we need a prequel for that as well. I guess that Santa is cold and tired, cause he's not being fired upon and there's no signs of injuries. Screw it, let's just fall down platoon style and get on with it. The killing machines verify Santa's body as dead and walk away. Toybox receives the information about Santa's passing, and it's all very sad. So sad. Such Santa, much sad. Just look at that evil face, a proper Anakin Skywalker douche. Then Santa miraculously wakes up and calls for his dog Gunnar, who's waiting outside at all times. So Gunnar acts like a rescue dog and carries the almighty glug, known as mulled wine. Glug to Santa is like the equivalent of gummy berry juice to the gummy bears, so he quickly regains his former powers and continues to fight. Santa goes completely ninja and takes one of the bears by surprise, successfully disarming it and using its machine gun to eliminate it, so now they aren't bulletproof anymore. I guess this duct-taped Uzi is more powerful than one could possibly imagine. Enemy soldiers are now guarding the workshop, and Santa suddenly appears, dual-wielding them guns, John Woo style. It's later followed by a bunch of shooting, with stormtrooper accuracy. And finally, Santa kills the last guard. Insert epic reloading scene with snow-filled barrels. One of the guards are still alive, and Santa tries to get information about Toybox's whereabouts, accidentally choking him to death in the process, without getting any information. Toybox is informed about Santa's arrival and prepares his epic escape. Santa teams up with one of the helpers and goes on a rampage. Back then, you could run around with airsoft guns and be insane in the neighborhood without getting into trouble. Those were the days indeed. Team Santa kills all the soldiers without getting a scratch because they are the good guys. With all the soldiers dead, Toybox has to take matters into his own hands by activating the flight mode on the box. Toybox flies away, but Santa is right behind him. An exploding doll is dropped and the sled gets disabled by the explosion. Toybox is now really close to getting away when Santa throws a Christmas cracker, aka a smell caramel, which the Joker grabs. Boom! Go, stock explosions! The box falls to the ground and that's it. Now roll credits. So that's the first movie of an epic trilogy no one ever saw. I'm going to cover the sequel Tomten 4 in my next upcoming video. Hope you enjoyed this blast from the past, and until next time, stay creative, be epic, and please subscribe. Julefröjd, julefröjd, satans jävla liv.